Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Wild West Gun Show. Today for you guys, as I promised, I have the Tisas 1911 A1 U.S. Army. Before I get into this, on this channel I'm going to try and avoid media and politics as much as possible. Because me as a person, I'm not a big fan of it, but I feel like I need to say something about the Kyle Rittenhouse case because I am a very pro Second Amendment person. The Kyle Rittenhouse case, do I believe he was in the rights of self-defense? Yes, I do. I believe he had the right to defend himself. But he's a 17-year-old kid. He should not be walking around any rally at all with a high-powered rifle. He is a 17-year-old kid. I know when I was 17, I made a lot of rash decisions. But this kid is a 17-year-old that was dropped off by his mom. He didn't even drive there. He was dropped off by his mom with a high-powered rifle, with a high capacity and a high magazine capacity, and he should not have been there. I own an AR-15. I don't blame AR-15s. I don't blame the gun. It's not the gun. This kid said that he went there to put out fires and clean up graffiti and stuff like that. You do not need a high-powered rifle to clean up graffiti and to put out fires. Nobody would have chased him if he would have had the gun on his back. I feel like nobody would have went after him if he didn't have the gun on his back. Do I believe? I believe he was in his rights of self-defense, but this should have never happened. He's a 17-year-old kid. He should be playing football or reading a book or playing video games. He should not be at a rally where there are violent people, which I'm not saying they were violent people, but there was a felon with a gun drawn on him, and that is the man that Mr. Rittenhouse shot in the bicep. I don't see a good reason for a 17-year-old kid to be at any rally with a high-powered rifle with a high magazine capacity. That's about all I'm going to say on that. Like I said, I'm not going to try and get too political on you guys with this stuff. He's a kid. He shouldn't have been there. He should not have been there to start with. He shouldn't have been there with a high-powered rifle. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, why would this kid's mom take him there with a high-powered rifle? You know, and he's 17. When I was 17, I thought a lot of things. It's when I was 17, I would have probably done the same thing. So his mom should not have even took him there. He shouldn't have been there. It's one of those things, you know. It's kind of hard to be like, I'm on this side, I'm on this side. It's just, the evidence is there, the proof is there. The kid was in self-defense, but he shouldn't have been there to start with. Alright, that's enough on that, guys. I'll shut up about that. It's one of those things, you know, it's in the media, it's about guns. I do not ever blame a gun. I blame mental health. If somebody is not in their right mind, and they go and do something like this, or they go and shoot up a club, or they go, you know, it is not ever the gun, it is the person. It's one of those things, you know, take away our guns. Let's give them all up. Let's take them away. People are going to kill each other with knives and swords. Let's take away knives and swords and spears and anything like that. People are going to pick up rocks and hammers and wrenches and start killing each other. People have been killing each other for thousands upon millions of years, and it's not going to change no matter what you do. But, okay, let's get into the gun. Let's get into the gun. This is the Tisas 1911 A1 based off of what you would have got in World War I or World War II. This is based off the style of the Colt government is what they would call it. It is a recoil-operated semi-automatic pistol. I love racking these things. Let's get into the round. This is chambered in 45 ACP, which is a chunk of a bullet. I mean, it is a chunk of a bullet. I sure wouldn't want to be hit with one of these. These have been in service since 1911 to now. The round, the origin of the 45 ACP, or the 45 Auto, was here in the U.S. This round has been used since in the military. It has been used since World War I to the current present. This round and the firearm was designed by John Browning. John Browning actually designed a lot of things for other companies before he became the Browning Company. These were designed in 1904. This little guy right here. Well, it's not a little guy for a pistol round. They were produced from 1905 to the present. It is a rimless, straight cartridge. I like this this round. I've always liked 45. It's a good round, really accurate, really powerful. It will stop whatever you need it to. All right, let's go back over here to the gun. This right here, this handgun, I consider this the World War I and World War II winner. This is not an original. The reason I picked the Tisas is because the Tisas 1911 is the most accurate 1911 to what you would have got handed in World War I or World War II. They would have said, here you go, you know. But this is what they would have gotten close enough, except without the rosewood grips. I put those rosewood grips on there because they are beautiful. They make it look good to me. John Browning designed this gun too, just like he did the bullet. This is the 1911A1. You've got the 1911, and then this is the 1911A1. The 1911A1 was actually produced in 1924, or well, it was designed and produced in 1924 is when they started it. This being a hammered semi-auto, the great thing about this is you let that hammer down, and it's just like a revolver. If you go to draw it, you cock the hammer back, and you've got a round ready. What they say, which I don't really like it personally, but you're supposed to rack it and click that safety on. I don't trust safeties on guns. I never have, and I never will. It's about like trusting a druggie with your debit card, you know. That sounded bad, I'm sorry. This gun has a capacity of 7 in the clip and 1 in the chamber, which gives you a total of 8 rounds. Which 845 ACP, if you need more than 845 ACP, I don't know what you're trying to kill. Because it might be a short round, but it is a chunk, let me tell you. This is a very iconic gun, the 1911 and the 1911A1. They've put them in video games. You see them, you will see them just about anywhere if you hear somebody talk about a gun. I picked this one because you guys know I am a huge military gun nut. Love them. I love military guns. I love taking them, and the ones that have been sporterized, like I talked about in the Mose and the Gone video, the ones that have been sporterized, take that stock off, put a new stock on, make it look all nice and good and new again. This is actually currently still used by the Army, the Marines, and the Navy. I wouldn't necessarily consider this to be a concealed carry gun. I mean, if you're like a skinnier guy, I'm cornbread fed, chubby little guy, but if you are maybe a skinnier guy, you know, it pulls your pants down because it's such a heavy gun. I like the 45 ACP. It is a good self-defense round. It will stop somebody coming at you, somebody trying to do harm to you or your loved ones, or you're trying to protect people. The 45 ACP will definitely stop them quick. It'll stop them a lot quicker than a 9mm. But it is a heavy gun. It will pull your pants down. You gotta keep pulling your pants back up, you know. So, but it's a good gun overall. One thing about the 1911 is it has this beaver tail, which is also the safety for it. When you press it in, if you look, I've got the hammer back. If you don't press it in, it will not fire. As soon as you press it in, it will drop the hammer, letting off a round. It's actually got that safety, and then there's a safety on this side I showed you guys earlier. And if you've got that safety on, that locks the trigger. You pull it down, you don't press the beaver tail, and then you do, and it's gonna fire. I think that's about all I've got. I've got 2 clips here I'm gonna shoot for you guys. Got just the standard 7-round clip. I believe, if I'm not wrong, the ones that the military, the sergeants would carry had 8 rounds. Clip goes in there, and then you rack it, put one in the chamber. Sorry about the cut in the video, guys. My granny stopped by. But this is a little up close of it, you know. It's a 1911A1. Let's see here. We'll get a close up of the round right here. Very big bullet for a pistol. And today I've got my earplugs, and I'm gonna pop it off sometimes. I've got my target set back up. Still, that one is still tore up. I don't know how I hit the bolt, but we'll shoot a few things, and then I'll put the second clip in. One is chambered. Let's do some shoot. That is great, guys. So after you put a whole clip through it, it locks back for you. So all you gotta do is slide another magazine in, drop it down, she's ready to go. there she is. That is 2 rounds. You know what? Since I got this one out of the box, I just drop it down in there. Man, I love this gun. Alrighty, guys. That is the Tisas 1911. I didn't tell you guys though. You can find one of these bad boys for about between $400 and $500 roughly. Got mine for $450. I've done a lot of looking on these guns because I wanted a 1911, but I didn't want to have to pay too much for one. But definitely those rosewood grips with the finger grooves definitely help stabilize it. I missed a few shots. I am not the best with a pistol. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you next week. Not sure what I'm going to shoot yet, but I will find a gun for us to shoot and talk about. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please check in next week and see what I got going on. See y'all then.